Hi everyone, how is everybody doing today? So I am back. So we are actually going to be finishing this Tilda doll this weekend. We haven't got much to go on it, like I said in my couple of last steps that you saw. We haven't got much to do on it. It's basically the bodice and the dress doesn't take 2 minutes to do. So as I'm doing this step by step, that's what's taking, I think, the longest, because I don't want to completely give you all the steps at once, because I know personally myself, if I'm giving all the steps at once, I forget what step I'm supposed to be on. So I think we're on like step 17, and I think there's about 20 steps. It won't be any more than 20 to do a Tilda doll. So the step that I left you with last time was to do the hair. Now this hair actually dried, and her bandana dried in the place that I wanted it to dry in, so she looks really cool. That was her hair, and I think from now on, if I do make another Tilda doll, I will be using Doll's House hair, because I don't know, I like them both and they both give a different feel. I don't know, I think that one needs to have some pearls in her hair, because even though the diamantes are in her hair, I'm going to go back and put pearls in her hair as well. Anyway, I know one of you ladies asked me, what needle is this? What needle is it? This is actually called a felted needle. They come in, I bought them, they come in a pack of 6 or a pack of 3, I can't remember now, and they're about £2.53. They're quite sharp on the edge, and if I get a piece of paper, I'm looking for a piece of paper, you can see where it begins to go different. So the needle is made up of like 3 thicknesses. You got the thickest bit up the edge, you got the middle thickness, and then you got the real thin piece at the edge. So it depends. I'm sure, if I've never done needle felting, I just know how to felt the hair into a Tilda doll, but I'm sure if you did needle felt that you have got 3 thicknesses on that needle. So if you were making something and you needed like the thickest part of the needle, I'm sure that you could put it in, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. I don't needle felt, but all I know that is this is called a felting needle, and they're mainly used for felting and making shapes out of felt. But it's a good way to put the hair in a Tilda doll. So that is to answer the question I got underneath my video. So thank you very much for asking me that. It means I can go back to it. So I'm going to show you now how I do the bodice. Now I've gone ahead on this doll and I've actually put the bodice on. I've given it a bit of a shape, and I've put some appliques down her arms too. Now this is made up of 2 pieces, not 1, 2. You've got a piece here, and then that piece, well 3 then, but the piece on her arms are a separate piece to this. And if I turn her around, it's the way I've folded the applique, and I've put some buttons in the back, and when I put her skirt on, she'll have another 5 buttons on the back, so she'll have sort of like I'm going for like a wedding dress, you know, where they've got the buttons on the back. So I've left my string, I was just about to say cotton, in there for me to put the buttons on when I go to put the skirt on. Now this underneath is loose, so I will explain all that in a second. So yeah, that's what she's looking like at the moment. So we're going to make her, I'm going to do a bit of a different, because I want them to be different. I'm going to do it a bit of different on this one. So I'm going to move that one I've already done out the way. I'm going to should have got my books out, but I never did. So you need for this, you don't have to use appliques. You can use anything you want. I use appliques because I find it gives 2 things. One is quicker to do if you've got an applique that's beaded already, and 2, it's quicker for me. But again, you could use ribbon and you could just go across. You could use another piece of material. All depends. It doesn't really, you don't have to use appliques. So this is my applique box. I to keep all my like special, like this is proper vintage material that I got sent from Sharon. Hi Sharon. So, and like Shirley sent me like loads of appliques, and I've got some appliques. So anyway, all the appliques that people send me and I buy are all in this box. But because I want to give you something special on this doll, I'm actually gonna go for a very vintage piece. Now, it might not even be in here. I think it's in the other box. I've got one box I keep. Just one box I keep. And in that box, this is the box. And Sharon Pritchard made me this box. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And in here, she sent me some beautiful proper vintage appliques. Now, if I can get one out, I had to keep them all in here, so I'm going to put a real special piece of vintage applique on here. And I think, as I'm trying to go a bit vintage on this one, because I want it to be that much different, you shape where you want it. So I think I'd like mine just there, and I'm going to put another piece just over. Now I don't know how much of this I've got. I know I've got some in this box, but it means digging through the box. So you just play about with where do you want the appliques to set. You don't have to go the same direction. You don't have to go across. Now on that original doll, what I did is I went straight across and over the shoulder. But for this one, I'm going for more of a sweetheart look, they call it. And I only know that from my wedding dress. Where I'm going to shape that into like the top of a heart in a second. I'm going to shape that, and then I'm going to put this. These are vintage appliques. I'm going to tuck that under. Might have to cut that one off. Pop him under. So it goes like that. And I'm going to cut this piece off, and I'm just going to attach it behind. Lots of like little pieces I've got in here. Full pieces. These are just, they are genuine vintage appliques. And I have got more in the box. There's that one. Right. Let me see what I've got and what I haven't. Right, I need a little scissors, Colette. I need a little scissors. Okay, so all I'm going to do, and I'm not sharing, I don't use these vintage appliques quite often because they're vintage. And when I said to Sharon, where do I get to buy some more, she said, Claire, you can't buy them. I went, what? She said, you can't buy them. I went, you are joking. She went, no. So I was using them in all my projects, and now I just keep them for like little things. I don't particularly use them. Right, you can see how I'm just cutting it to go over, and I'm going to tuck that under, and I need some pins, which are in here. So I'm going to pop a pin, and don't be frightened to go through your tilted doll either. I mean, she's going to put that one there. Now this is the part that I can shape now. So I'm going to do it like a top of a heart. I'll show you what I mean. And I'm going to pop that. I will pop it under. There. And you just shape it. Now can you see where it's starting to form a shape? And it's called, when you cut it in the shape of a heart on the top, it's called a sweetheart look. I'll pop the pin in there, and then I'm going to turn around, move the hair out the way. I'm going to pop a small pin just there, and I'm going to bring this straight around with it. Like I say, all you want to do is just pin it at the moment. Right. This is the bit that I cut off. I'm going to find a piece to go across there now. Now, like I say, in my box, see, that's my vintage piece. I know that's vintage because of the way it is. Blue. And I've got satin come off a wedding dress. That's all in here as well. I keep it all together so I know what it is. I have got some of this trim. That would look quite pretty on the top of her bodice. So let me have a look and play about around the back. See, that fits perfectly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut that down. Let's find where it stops. Right. One there. Is there another one there somewhere? I'll pop that back on in a second. And you just place it where you want it. And the reason I'm using pins and I'm not sewing it in just yet is because I can go back and sew it in a second once I've got the shape that I want. There. I'm going to unpin this and I'm going to bring it just on top like so. And then this is going to go just there. Right, so that's where I've got at the back, and that's what she looks like from the front. Oh, that's too much. And don't forget, you've got a dress going on as well. There. And that's sewed underneath, you won't notice it. Right, I am going to cut that down because she is pulling underneath. So whoever has this doll, because like I say, I am giving these away, I am giving this one away, will know that this piece that I'm putting on is a vintage piece. So I've got some of this gorgeous, it's like I bought this off eBay, and I didn't realise how pretty it was until it actually came. And what I'm thinking of doing is to almost, I'm going to put some applique on there. I might put a little scarf on her. And use this as part of my scarf. Right, we'll come to that in a second. I'll do that in a sec now. Right, I'm going to use, I think, I'm going to use some of this trim. Now this is an applique. This isn't vintage. It's just to come off a wedding dress I bought at the charity shop quite recently. And all I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to take it under. I'm almost going to give her a shawl. And I'm just going to sew that on. I'm fighting with her at the minute because I wanted to stop. There. That's where I wanted to stop. So do the same. There. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to move this up my way because I can't talk and have this on my table. Right, so all I'm going to do is, because I want this scarf to be on her, that's what she looks like from the back. Almost gives me like a scarf look on. That's what she looks like at the back, and this is what she looks like at the front. So I'm going to take a cotton and thread, and I'm going to sew. Now what you do is, because I'm doing the skirt and the once I finish the bodice, you leave this bit loose, because once I've sewed all that, what I don't want is for it to, I've sewed that and then the skirt's going to go above it, so you're not going to see this. So what I do is I sew all around here, sew what I want on the top, on the sleeves, and I leave this bit loose, so this bit hasn't been sewn, so the skirt can sit underneath and then that can sit on top of the skirt. So with this one, since she's got a bit of a shawl going on, I'm going to sew all the way around. I'm going to sew the bodice first, and then I'm going to sew at the back. I am going to go down because there's like, I've added like little sections of bits and pieces, and I'm going to go down to about there, so I leave this underneath loose so I can tuck it over a skirt. And once I've done that, I'm going to go and hand sew this to her shoulders. So I'm gonna sew. I'm just going to sew here. Where can I sew it? I don't want it to see the stitches, see? It's the idea of it. I'm going to go underneath. I'm going to sew here, there, just keep it from falling. And then I'm going to put a few stitches in her arm here, so this doesn't come off. And here, because I wanted to keep it as loose as I possibly can. So when I put her dress on, she's going to have a bit of a shawl. That's the idea of it. So I'm going to go and do that now. And then when you see me in my next video, we will be doing the dress, because all this will be sewn. And I'll show you exactly, because it's hand stitching, I don't want you sort of sitting there watching me go in and out. I'm going to be sewing I'll sew here. I also there where the pins are, and then let me get my one last pin. I'm just going to go behind the neck, and I'm going to sew where that is there. I'm just going to go across there. So I'm not going to bring her down her arms, because I don't want you to see the stitches. That's the idea of it. Because I think if you saw the stitches, you'd see it's the mysterious. So where did I sew it? So I'm going to sew where the pins are, where her elbows are, and just on the back of her neck. And with the bodice, I'm going to go up the top. I'm going to go up the top on the behind, and then I'm going to go down about halfway, so the bottom is loose, just like this one, so I can put the dress underneath. So I'm going to go and do that, and then I'm going to go and see you all in my next video. And in my next video, we're going to go and do the dress, and then they are both done. So if you've been watching me and following me how to do this Tilda doll, you'll know that I'm giving this one away. This one's actually going to Rose. Hi Rose. So I do hope she likes it, and that she likes what I've done. I've done it a bit different. I've done them both different because I wanted you to see two different ways of doing them. The only thing is this hair catches with everything, so I'm having to sort of fight with the hair all the time. That's the only thing about using doll's house hair. It's miniature doll's house hair. Everybody keeps asking me what did I use. It's called miniature doll's house hair, and this is obviously wool. But what I will be doing is I'll be going through her hair again, and I'm going to sew in some pearls, because even though there's diamantes in there, you can see them, because it's black and those diamantes are little, I don't think you can see them as clear. So I'm gonna sew some pearls in her hair, so she's got a bit of a pearl going on. So I hope that's helped everybody. Her hair is coming undone, and I know on one of my videos, and I didn't realise until I was watching it back, that what was I going to say? You couldn't see the technique. So this is exactly what I was doing, because I was out of frame. You hold the hair with one hand, you be really careful with it, and you just prod it in, because all you're going is through the skin. So the more times you do it, the better, really. There's better. So yeah, so I will love and leave you, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care guys, and I'll see you then. Bye for now. Bye.